Ryan Cole went to one of the most prestigious cross-country events always every year, the Nutty Comb Invitational, and your team on the men's side fared very well, and the women keep coming on. Tell me your impression.
Yeah, it was like we talked about going in. You want to get that feedback and get out there, but also get that experience of a very large competitive field, which resembles how a national meet plays out. So it's really valuable in your current season, but there's also some investment in the future as you get young people getting in there, getting that first experience, and you want to keep building off that. So overall, pretty positive. The men competed well, but we feel like there are areas we can continue to improve. The women improved from their first meet. We beat some teams that beat us at the beginning of the year. We were closer to some teams that we want to be competing against. So overall, it was a productive trip.
Many people think of cross country as an individual event, but we stress team here usually. It seemed to me from your comments after the race that the team maybe on the men's side could have stayed together a little bit more as they raced throughout. Talk to me about strategy and things like that.
Well, you have 300 bodies out there, and so you have about 500 meters in that particular course before it really narrows down, and every coach is telling their team the same thing. You need to get out, you need to find each other, you don't want to get pushed to the back. There's not as much room to maneuver until late in the race, and by that point it might start to get a little too late. So everybody's trying to do something similar usually, and being able to find your teammates and work with them, kind of run together just like you do every day in practice. We've been pretty successful with having a small spread, keeping our group together for a majority of the race, or coming in finishing pretty close together. And I think there's just a level of comfortability when you're used to training and running hard and developing with the same guys and girls. If you're able to get into a race and have a similar type of dynamic, it usually helps you be a little more comfortable, and usually being a little more comfortable helps you be a little more successful. So that's always something that we try to do, but when you have that many bodies, sometimes it becomes challenging. But again, it's a great dress rehearsal for what we have coming up, hopefully at the end of the year, and so we want to get in there and get that experience so we can be better for it down the road.
Yeah, on the ladies' side, much younger squad, freshmen, sophomores. Do you feel like they gained enough experience in this, their first one, really against that kind of competition?
Absolutely. Yeah, Hallie did a really nice job for us, taking a much different approach than her first collegiate race, where she went out really hard and just hung on. This one, she went out a little bit more patient and moved up really effectively throughout the run. Jenna Kill, did the same, much better than the first showing there. And then we have some other positions that they train with those girls every day, every workout. So there should be a level of confidence and perspective. They know they can run with them. And so we get another opportunity at our conference championship to do that. There are fewer bodies at that event coming up, and so it's a little bit easier to find your teammates and, again, have something tangible to dial into and focus on. And I think that will yield a more positive outcome.
You have close to 2 weeks before the Mountain West. What do you do in the meantime? How do you make improvements without really running another race until that time?
I think when you start to see how the team is executing, and then you can start incorporating that a little bit more into your training, and so you start to see natural pairings, as well as more of an emphasis on being able to continue to work with this specific teammate or this grouping, and then that allows you to go into your next race and say, okay, rather than just going out and trying to run within yourself and then continue to concentrate when it gets hard over the middle and latter stages of the race, you start to have something a little bit more tangible that you're focused on, whether that's beating a specific opponent or working with a specific teammate or sticking this group together for the first phase of the race and then kind of taking the reins off and letting them go so that they have better momentum moving over the second half of the race. You're able to start to identify how people are doing, not just in their training, but more specifically in their competitions, and then that in turn impacts how you approach the rest of your training. And you always want to be finding ways to continue to improve, and so that's what we'll focus on here over the next couple of weeks.
Gotcha. Ryan Cole, thanks for taking the time. Happy training. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.